Good evening and welcome to St. Joseph, Missouri and Phil Welch Stadium, where tonight we see the St. Joe Mustangs take on the Des Moines Crop Dusters. It's going to be a good one. Both teams off to a hot start, aren't they, Tyler? Tell me a little about tonight.
Yes, they are. Both teams at the top of the Mink League. St. Joe sitting 6-0 in league play, 7-0 overall. And the Crop Dusters, formerly known as the Moines Prospects, are sitting at 5-1. They're a relatively new team in the Mink League. The Crop Dusters started in 2020 and had the name change in 2024. They have not won a Mink League title yet, but look to be a serious contender this year, Charlie.
Yeah, well said. Tonight, the Mustangs roll out Denton Biller on the mound. We saw him pitch once in the past, and he was absolutely lights out. He tallied 3 innings pitched, no earned runs, no runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts, just facing 13 batters. Tyler, what can we see maybe from Biller, if you remember, maybe a little bit on to his last start?
Yes, so hopefully we get a little bit more length out of him. He only went 3 innings. Pitch count was a little bit higher than it should have been. Also, first start of the year, maybe not trying to have him throw too many pitches out there. But he did have a very solid start against the Jefferson City Renegades that led to their win. So he did set the tone early. The Mustangs offense got out to a quick start, and it was pretty much smooth sailing after that.
Yeah, if you remember the game Biller pitched last time, he didn't get a lot of run support, and that was the game where the Mustangs came from behind and just kind of squeaked out a win versus the Jeff City Renegades. Since then, they've only continued to win, as they're now 8-0 on the year. But let's meet our starting lineup for the visiting Crop Dusters. So leading off for the Crop Dusters and playing shortstop, Asa Rapp. Hitting in the second hole, Cole Sonnenberg. Right behind him is Peyton Fort. In the 4 hole is Garrett Haying. 5 is Connor Malcapine. 6 hole is Caden Sandler. 7 is Diego Morales. Following him is Levi Beeler. And in the 9th spot, Ben Sandvig. Pitching tonight for the Crop Dusters, Luke Greth.
And I'm looking at this Crop Dusters team. Impressive, they're out to a 5-1 record. A lot of their guys don't have that much experience in college. One of the exceptions is Garrett Haying, the first baseman batting in the 4 spot, as that guy had 66 at-bats, hit 288 with a 440 on base and a 364 slug, as well as Peyton North out of North Iowa Area College. He slashed 265 with a 365 on base and a 432 slugging.
Lots of bats in this lineup. We're going to take a quick break for the national anthem. Welcome back to Phil Welch Stadium, home of the St. Joseph Mustangs. We're about to witness a great top of the Mink League matchup, a premier matchup, something we've been waiting all season for. The Crop Dusters versus the Mustangs. We're excited. We just highlighted the Crop Dusters lineup. Tyler, was there anything else you wanted to skim over? We kind of got, we had to shorten it up due to the national anthem, but is there anything else maybe worth mentioning about this Crop Duster lineup?
No, but outside of the fact that the entire roster are either freshmen and sophomores. So a team that is probably all younger than me.
New brand, new team, a lot of new things up in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah, but they can go drink beer after this game. So what are they doing on their Friday night? Other than that, we can talk about Luke Wraith, the pitcher out of Ellsworth Community College, the freshman. He threw 31 innings with an 8 ERA. Obviously not the best numbers, but he does have a little bit of experience. Looking at most players, a lot of the position guys on the Crop Dusters team had less than 50 at-bats a season, most less than 10 at their respective community colleges. Almost every single guy on the roster is a community college product. And the pitchers do have a little bit more experience. Guys have thrown innings in the 15, 20 innings pitched range. So might feel like the Mustangs have the experience advantage in this one.
They definitely do. We kind of looked through the stats. A lot of these Mustangs guys are coming off a college season where they played a lot. I think that's been known if you've been watching these streams throughout some of the statistics or just things we've said about these players, whereas the Crop Dusters, they haven't. So typically when you start a season, sometimes the bats lag behind, whereas right now the Mustangs, they're, most of these players are off an entire season and halfway through another one right now with the Mustangs, whereas the Crop Dusters are just getting started.
But they're at a 5-1 record sitting in second place in the Mink League, so maybe sometimes numbers do lie.
Leading off for the Crop Dusters, Asa Rapp, the shortstop, as that was not a pretty looking swing to start this one.
That is not the way you want to start the game for the Crop Dusters. Didn't look like much too fancy from the starting pitcher, Biller, but fooled him nonetheless.
Biller maybe off to a similar start last time. Lots of strikeouts. This one misses just high.
And he runs it up there. He probably touches 90 a little bit. Wouldn't say the most overpowering pitcher in the team, but he's definitely got some life on that fastball.
Rapp swings through the fastball to make it a 1-2 count.
If I'm Biller here, I just threw 3 fastballs, 2 for strikes. I'm going right back to it, probably getting this inside on his hands to where if he does make contact, it's just a flare out to the right side.
That one fouled straight back. Rapp on the air, hitting 296 for the Crop Dusters. One of the better averages they feature on the team.
At Northern Iowa Community College, where a lot of these players, I believe I counted 6 or 7 guys on the Crop Dusters roster from Northern Iowa Community College. He batted 156 in his shortened 32 at-bat season.
Well, he's battling here. So hasn't seen a ton of pitching in the last year. But right now it doesn't seem to be bothering him. He's giving Biller about all he can handle right now.
You haven't seen pitching in a while. Typically the fastball gets on you a bit. I think reading off speed is something that develops over time. It is nice to see it, but the fastball is what gets on you.
That one just high. I'm already noticing a new umpire. The first time I think we've seen a new umpire today behind the plate for these Mustangs. Be interesting to see how his strike zone differentiates from what we've seen so far on the year.
Yeah, the other umpire seemed fine. I just didn't like his strike calls. Like the way he signaled always gave me some fits over here in the press box.
But yeah, overall I think it's been a pretty well officiated season for the Mustangs. Full count now to Rapp. Cole Sonnenberg waits on deck. Another foul ball. So almost a 10-pitch at-bat in the first at-bat of a game. That can be draining for a pitcher.
And that's exactly what you want your leadoff guy to do. Run that pitch count up there to 8-9 pitches before he sees another batter. And that's going to set the tone. Even if he does not reach base here, it's still going to be a battle for Denton Biller the rest of the way.
Rapp connects and sends a charge out there to center field, but no problem for McCullum. That's one out for the Mustangs.
Yeah, just quite a battle between Rapp and Biller there. He hit a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Got a pretty good one on it. No problem out there for McCullum. But a good swing and just a great AB to start the game. Also,
Yeah.
I have no clue the Mustangs are up 1-0, Charlie, in the top of the first.
My mistake. That was an out, not a run. Strike one from Biller.
Kyle Sonnenberg out of Iowa Central Community College, and he was actually more of a pitcher in his 2 1/3 innings where he gave up 4 runs. Did not record an at-bat.
Yeah, Sonnenberg, as he shoots that one out to center field. The only stats we have on the year are pitching as well, so some two-way action from the Crop Dusters. That's 2 outs for the Mustangs here in the top of the first inning.
Being a two-way can be exhausting. I speak from experience. Your practice just feels so much longer because POs can typically leave early, hit their weights earlier, throw their pins and shag. Whereas if you are a two-way player, you're going to go from taking full-on batting practice to slipping out and throwing your bullpen. It is a grind for a lot of two-way guys.
Strike one to Peyton Fort, the right fielder.
Fort, another North Iowa area community college product. We mentioned earlier, he had 132 at-bats. One of the most experienced JUCO players on the Crop Dusters roster.
Yeah, slash 265 last year for North Iowa area community college.
And a 432 slugging. It's not too shabby at all. He had 6 doubles, 2 triples, and 4 home runs. So, especially that short porch and right, big power threat.
0-2, the count remains for Fort. Biller trying to have a 1-2-3 inning to start the game.
And good job by Biller. Quick second out after that really long at bat. And now to the 3-hitter is ahead 0-2. Hopefully he can get out of here with less than 18 pitches.
Down and in is pitch 4 in this at-bat. Fort batting from the left side.
You can see at the top of the screen, though, Trevor McCullum playing to the left of second base. Could be because there's 2 strikes. Something called the 2-strike shift, where a lot of outfielders move over 2 steps to the opposite field side and 1 step in.
That one got him, so it doesn't matter where McCullum's playing, as Fort is going to get a free base courtesy of Denton Biller. Now batting, Garrett Hang.
First baseman from Viterbo University. He hit 288 with a 440 on base and a 364 slash. He did have a home run, but power, not something that he is known for.
It's a nice stance. Very, I don't know, aesthetic, I'd say.
Also, he's repping number 27. Here's a fun little conversation we can have, Charlie. What do you think is the best number for a player? Like, when you think of the most successful players, what number are they wearing?
Probably 23. I don't know. Not even
some of the
base.
best 23s in the MLB. Or
I don't even know. I don't think I know. I'm not a huge numbers guy. Are you? Could you rattle off some numbers in your head right now?
First thing I thought it was 27. You got Mike Trout, Giancarlo Stanton were the first 2 that came to mind, and because we're live, I'm definitely blanking on a lot of others. 22, you got Clayton Kershaw. 32, Sandy Koufax. Josh Hamilton, other guys. Who else was 27? 27, I feel like is much more popular. Ichiro 27? Does that sound? No, he was a single-digit number.
Well, Hang, who's up 3-0, wears number 27. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk. So, Biller, who started the game beautifully, 2 quick outs, well, minus the 10-pitch at-bat, has now hit a batter and walked a batter.
Again, the curse of the 2 outs. All of a sudden, you let a free pass on, and all of a sudden, an inning where you feel like you were cruising, got some trouble to work out of.
The first pitch to 5-hole Connor McAlpine. is high. So that's now 7 straight balls for Biller on the mound.
McAlpine's number 41. You got anyone with that number?
I don't know if I have anyone with 41. As Biller finally finds the zone.
How pull for you? Justin Bohr was number 40. I don't know if I have 40. Oh, Jose Altuve was 27 though.
Altuve's 27. Willie Adames is 27. Vlad Guerrero Jr. 27. Trevor Bauer, Bautista. Those guys all flirted with the number 27 at times throughout their career. That's off my top of my head, by the way.
Yeah, that was really impressive, and it's weird. Like, when you said that, it sounded like you were reading off something. I couldn't really quite put on. There was something in your voice that changed as you trailed off.
The 1-2 pitch coming up to McAlpine, and it's a big one as 2 runners on and 2 out.
Oh, just off the plate. I was a really good call by the umpire because that is almost identical to a pitch early in the at-bat, but it probably was a couple inches outside, and a couple inches make all the difference.
They do indeed. The 2-2 pitch from Biller is shot and dug beautifully by Jeter Mosey, who is back in the lineup tonight, and we'll tell you all about the rest of the Mustangs lineup when we return. Biller escapes some damage, and the score remains 0-0. Welcome back to St. Joe, Missouri. We're going to take a quick look at the Mustangs lineup. Leading off, you have Frank Gall in left field. 2-hole Carson Schrack playing second base tonight. A little different than what we're used to. 3-hole is Mason Holton, who's playing short. Followed by that is Jeter Mosey, who's at first base. We just saw him make a nice play. Kyle Hepburn behind the dish again tonight. Darius Freeman in right. Jordan Black makes an appearance back in the lineup. He's at third base. Trevor McCollum in center field. Jackson Glick DHing and pitching, who we just saw, Denton Biller.
Luke Graith for the Crop Dusters, rocking a 4-pitch mix from what we saw in warmups. He looks like he has a fastball, a sinker, a changeup, and a gyro slider. What I mean by gyro slider is the ball has spin like a bullet, which means the ball is going to dip down its head. It's not going to have too much lateral movement, but it's going to drop more than the fastball would.
Well, he's not going to be able to throw the gyro slider much if he falls behind 3-0, which he is now to Frank Gall. That's a 4-pitch walk for Greth to start his outing. Never the start you want.
Yeah, 4 pitches, but typically fall behind accounts. You might be using 1, maybe 2.
Schrack at second base tonight due to holding that short and Black at third. Bit of a mix-up for him. We've seen him play all over the infield now.
Well, all 3 of those guys you mentioned, Holton, Black.
Because that one squirts away back there. That's Caden Samler letting the ball get by him.
Yeah, Holton, Black, and Schrack, all really good athletic infielders, and they're pretty much interchangeable wherever you go. I think it sounds like Holton does have the starting nod at short when he has been in the lineup, but both Black and Schrack can hold their own at any of the infield positions.
Yeah, Holton took a little bit to join the team, and we saw Schrack and Black both play short before Holton joined in. So, but since he's been returning, it looks like it's been his spot at short, and Schrack's kind of worked around him. And now Black in lineup today. Jordan Black was the third baseman for Johnson County all year, one of the better JUCOs. As that one's hit off the mound, played on a hop by the second baseman, but not in time as the throw pulled Garrett Haying off the bag over there. So that's going to be an error on Levi Beeler.
That's just a lazy play. He had a decent amount of time. I wouldn't say he had all the time in the world. He caught that on a very long hop, but he kind of babied that throw. Sometimes when you have a little bit too much time, you start to overthink that, and next thing you know, you're not making a strong throw. Other times when you have to make a play on a bang-bang play, you're not thinking. You have to fire a ball over. So pretty poor effort from Beeler right there.
Yeah, not what Luke Greth wanted to start his days. He has first and third now, no outs in the bottom of the first inning.
Besides that, it was still a good, productive, would have been out from Carson Schrack. Got it to the right side, moved the guy over, and even though he also reached first base, but he would have moved over Frank Gall to third no matter what. And that's the odds of you scoring with 1 out and a guy at third base is a lot higher than 1 out and a guy at second base.
Holton swings through the fastball there, making it 1-2.
I would say here comes that gyro slider like we talked about earlier. Might throw it off that pitch, either bury this under the zone or hit the outside corner with it.
Schrack takes off, and that looks like it could have been a potential gyro slider. Hard to tell from here as it was skipped into the dirt. Schrack pitched a good pitch to go on.
I thought that was a fastball.
Yeah, I mean, I really had no spin. It was quick. I'm not too familiar with how quickly his off-speed moves.
That was an off-speed pitch. I think he's throwing 95 with a fastball.
Holton now 2 runners in scoring position after the stolen base from Schrack.
There's the slider right there.
That one stayed up. So now we're full. Things are getting pretty dangerous early on for Luke Greth. Doesn't get the call, and that's going to be ball 4. And it's up. 3 base runners and no hits to start the game for the Mustangs. They'll take it. The Crop Dusters probably not happy about it.
And that error totally changes the complexity of the inning. Runners to the corners with 1 out. You have 1 pitch. You can turn a double play, get out of here unscathed. Now all of a sudden you have the bases loaded, no out.
And that's shot up the middle. Going to be down for a base hit. The runners go station to station. And that's a no-out triple that brings in an RBI for Kyle Hepburn. Or excuse me, Jeter Mose.
Yeah, that line drive to Ben Sandvik in center field. Could he have taken the chance? It would have been 2 extremes right there. He catches that ball. You got 1 out in the base load. If you don't, you probably have a bases clearing double, possibly a triple right there. Probably the smart decision, the safe decision in the first inning. And hopefully you can trust your pitcher to get out of here with only a run or 2.
Still no outs as the Mustangs take the early 1-0 lead, and plenty left on the table for 5-hole catcher Kyle Hepburn, fresh out of the JUCO World Series with Johnson County. Hepburn takes strike 1.
Still a 2-1 count here for Hepburn. If you are in the JUCO World Series right now, you can't do too much. It's the first inning. Make sure you put a good aggressive swing on it. But now you could be swinging for the fences in summer ball. Give these fans something good to go on.
The 2-2. Fouled off. Hepburn got just enough of it to stay alive. Tyler, you said, would your approach change a little bit during summer ball at all, or no?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to go yard. 100% trying to go yard. But realistically, like, you calm the nerves a bit. You don't have to worry too much about losing your spot, gaining your spot. You're also trying to work on some stuff too. So I wouldn't change it too much.
This one hit down the line, but just foul, as that would have been serious trouble for the Crop Dusters early on. Instead, the count remains 2-2. The score remains 1-0.
Back to your question, Charlie. I would experiment a bit, whether it's trying to go the other way more, maybe having a different approach, looking for a different pitch to start out.
That one high. So now full count. Greth in danger of rewarding another free base, and this would be a free run if he's unable to find the strike zone right here. The 3-2 is going to be grounded. This one, another high chopper. Doesn't look like there's going to be a play, and there's not one. Kyle Hepburn reaches first by way of an RBI infield single.
You know, Grant, not that he's not an excuse, but he has not had a lot of luck. He could have 2 outs right there with 2 very high choppers. Both guys ended up reaching, and he's still yet to record an out for the Mustangs 6-hitter duo.
So another run for the Mustangs. 2-0 is the score. Darius Freeman, who went absolutely off last night.
I just loved his approach yesterday. Swung at pitches he wanted to swing out. Wasn't too aggressive, but also didn't let too much go by. And he roped 3 doubles to 3 different parts of the field.
That one could be more than a double. It's hit out to right off the top of the wall. This is going to bring in some more. Darius Freeman, another double.
Just a hitter that's super hot right now. He got the fastball belt high on the inside pitch. That's where Freeman's power comes from. And man, that ball had maybe a launch angle of 16, 17 degrees, and that ball hit off the wall in a hurry. He thought it might have had a shot. He definitely could not have hit a ball much harder than that, but Mustangs out to a big lead to start the game.
Yeah, if Freeman got under that 3 inches more, we're looking at a grand slam, which would have been the first of the year for the St. Joe Mustangs. Instead, he's repping out push-ups at second base, trying to get stronger. Got to get that one out.
Yeah, I mean, if you hit a grand slam in front of a crowd like this on $1.50 beer night, come on now. That's a moment you tell your kids about how you went yard, grand slam at the friendly confines of Phil Welch Stadium. Getting a souvenir over to the party deck, why don't you?
I thought the fans up on the Yellow Frog Graphics party deck were going to get a baseball. Bad news for Luke Greth. It doesn't get any easier. Still no outs, and in steps Jordan Black. He hits one up the middle. This one's going to be a tough play from Wheeler. Or Beeler makes the play. Black with an RBI ground out. More runs for the Mustangs.
Now it's time for Greth to realize he can't do anything about what has happened, what has transpired in that first inning. Best thing you can do now is flush it, maybe get 2 more innings out of your start, and give your guys a chance to claw their way back into this game.
That one squirts away, and it's going to be another run. Darius Freeman scores thanks to a wild pitch from Luke Greth. 6-0. What a first inning for your St. Joseph Mustangs.
And what we were just talking about, Greth can't panic now, and the first thing he does is spike a fastball. But look at the positive side. Touchdown, extra point, and you're up by 1 this game.
Too bad we're playing baseball. Unfortunate. So here's Trevor McCullum as he grounds one to third. That should be an easy play, and it is. Cole Sonnenberg makes the play. 2 outs for the Mustangs.
The Mustangs have 6 runs, only on 3 hits, one of them of the infield single variety. If you have the batted balls that you've seen from this Mustangs team, you would not expect them to have 6 runs outside of the shot by Darius Freeman.
This one from Glick going to be grounded right back to Greth. That'll do it in the bottom of the first inning, but wow, not before the damage is done by the Mustangs. 6-0 is what we're going to leave it at as we go into the top of the second inning. Welcome back to Phil Welch Stadium. If you're just now joining us, oh man, you missed a lot. The first 6 batters for the Mustangs all reached and all scored, which is why we're sitting here 6-0 in just the top of the second inning. Tyler, what happened in that first inning?
It was a mix of some bad luck and timely hitting for the Mustangs. An error early on in the inning on a high chopper, an infield single on a high chopper, and then Darius Freeman with an absolute shot into right field. But, I mean, Luke Gray, if you started with the 7th batter, he had a 1-2-3 inning.
That's a good way to look at it. If you're rooting for the Crop Dusters, Biller now, he worked out of a little bit of a jam, which what seems like a while ago, but it was just the top of the first inning. He had 2 free passes, but didn't come back to bite him at all. Threw about 20-25 pitches, however.
Yeah, but now it should be super relaxed, free and easy for the pitcher. Can't fall behind 2-1 right now, but you have such a big cushion. Sounds like your boys are swinging the bats well today. Just go out there and have fun, play your game, attack hitters. If you give up a couple shots, so what? Keep that pitch count down. See how long you can work.
That is not ideal for Biller as he hits Caden Samler, the catcher for the Crop Dusters. So not exactly what you want after you spot 6. But Biller has a little bit of room to maneuver now due to his large lead.
And if you're the Crop Dusters, you have to know that you can't get it all back in one swing. All these guys just got to stay in their game, keep the line moving. It is capable of putting up 6 in one inning, but right now is the time to just chip away. You got 8 innings left to score in, and that is the best way they can get back in this game. And if you're the Mustangs, don't let your foot off the gas pedal. Treat this like it's a brand new ball game. See if we can send these fans and these interns home early.
That's not going to help. That one to the backstop. Hepburn couldn't do much with that. As Samler moves up to second base.
And there's times where having too big of a lead too early, you almost coast too much. And Biller is missing by a good amount this inning. Pitches way outside, pitches way high. If I were him, I'd, again, try to pretend like this is a close ball game and my team needs me to execute.
It's easy to say if you're Biller that, well, you want to pitch well, so you should still be focused, which obviously he does. But Tyler, there's just a difference when a game is 1-1 and then when it's 6-0. You do your best to lock in, but it really can be tough at times.
Also depends the type of game you're in. Right now you're in a summer ball game in the Mink League. You're not playing for your JUCO championship. You're not fighting for a playoff spot in your Division II conference. You are pitching in a very relaxed summer ball game. So sometimes it can be hard to kind of focus up, like you mentioned.
Batting now, who's in a full count, is DH Diego Morales. He's the 7-hole for the Crop Dusters as he looks to work on and keep the line moving for them.
Diego Morales out of Iowa Lakes Community College. He had 78 at-bats his sophomore campaign. He slashed .244, as that's not going to help the average either as he strikes out.
Down goes Morales. Biller doing a great job working back from down in the count to get the strikeout.
Levi Biller, who had the costly error in the first inning, now with the chance to redeem himself. At Ellsworth Community College, he only had one hit in his 18 trips to the plate. It had 12 Ks, striking out in 66% of your at-bats, and you're the taco hitter. Might be an exciting time for us Mustangs fans.
Yeah, I think whoever decided who the taco hitter was maybe did some research.
I'm predicting 2 strikeouts from our taco hitter today. I think he'll be taken out before he has a chance to have his third.
Wow. That one fouled off, making it 1-1.
Hope he doesn't listen back to this, to be honest with you. Levi, if you're listening back to this, hope you keep these fans from getting their tacos.
1-2, not what Bieler was looking for as he spits at the breaker.
Sure, the Ellsworth Community College coach is probably screaming at me right now.
A lot of Ellsworth Community College players on this team as that one misses up. Fun fact, this past year I stayed in Ellsworth dorm at the University of Kansas. So, I have a...
And if you're wondering what it's like to live in a dorm, don't. Get an apartment. It's way nicer. Less invasive roommates. Kind of felt bad for Charlie. I don't know how he did, and I know I couldn't have.
The dorm life is fun as that's a taco strikeout. Down goes Levi Bieler.
Biller, the hero this afternoon. I think we got to get that when we're talking about player of the game consideration. How many tacos did you provide for the fans? That's got to be a stat we got to start tracking.
Following the taco strikeout is center fielder Ben Sandvig, trying to get just one run across. Even down 6-0, the one run out on second base, you have to chip away like you just mentioned. So this is still a big at-bat for the Crop Dusters as they look to tighten that deficit just a little bit.
Yeah, the Crop Dusters, their goal should be 1 run this inning. 1 run, cut it to 5. Got a couple guys not warming up, but stretching out there in the pen for the Crop Dusters. Hopefully your pitcher can go out, get you a couple more innings, and you can slowly claw your way back into this game.
That was straight gas as Sandvig was way behind. When I was playing or when I play, I always kind of like to look at your 6-0 deficit, just kind of win the inning. That's what I like to think to myself. If you can win 6 innings out of the next 8, well, you win the game at this point. So, yeah, they need to just kind of try and get one and just hold the Mustangs. They need to trust Luke Reth or whoever comes out of that bullpen next.
And we've all been there. We've all been down early in games, but unless you strike for like 8 in one inning, which is possible, you just cut that 6-0 deficit to like 6-2, 6-4, and next thing you know, you're right back in the ballgame.
The 1-2 pitch is up. Biller trying to record his 3rd consecutive strikeout. Something not seen all very often.
Ben Sandvik out of North Iowa Area Community College was academic all-region. Good for him hitting the books.
The 2-2. Strike 3. Denton Biller strut off the mound a little bit.
Ben Sandvik, academic all-region, hitting the books, but not reading that pitch.
That's a 6-0 lead the Mustangs are going to take into the bottom of the 2nd inning, thanks to Denton Biller. Welcome back to Phil Welch JDM, where the St. Joseph Mustangs hold a 6-0 lead in just the bottom of the 2nd inning. That's Frank Gall shooting one out to left, but ran down by Connor McAlpine out there. A good piece of wood on that one, but didn't go quite far enough.
Great, that's exactly what you're looking for. 1 pitch, 1 out. Pitch count got up there in the 1st inning. And all of a sudden, you can maybe work yourself 3-4 innings.
So a quick out for Graith. In steps Carson Schrack. So last inning, the Mustangs batted around. We've seen a lot of productivity from this Mustangs lineup, but that's one of the first times all year we've seen them bat 1 through 9. It's very satisfying to look down on your score sheet, and it's just a straight line, and you get to start 2nd inning with another one as Schrack hits another ground ball to second. This time he cannot reach safely, as that's 2 quick outs for Luke Reth.
Seeing deja vu. That looked like the exact same ground ball Schrack hit in the 1st inning.
In steps Mason Holton, who walked in his first at-bat.
Yeah, the Mustangs' offense has been fantastic start the year, but at least at home, I haven't seen them score more than like 4 runs in 1 inning, so a 6 spot. And the first 6 batters of the inning, no less, scoring. That's an offensive onslaught we have not seen so far.
First pitch misses for a ball. That one almost got Holton. I thought it clipped him, but it didn't.
If it did, I think Holton might shake that off and try to take a big 2-0 hack here.
Not swinging as that one bounces way outside.
I want to see some fireworks right here. 3-0 count to one of your best batters.
So Mason Holton threw 2 at-bats, has yet to see a strike tonight. 8 pitches, 8 balls. Not very common you see that, Tyler.
Obviously didn't really watch KU Club baseball, as that was a staple for us.
We're developing pitching.
We are. A couple years down the road, we're making a run of that NCBA championship, win the Kearney, Nebraska regional.
That one's hit well, but not well enough, as that's going to be an easy play for Ben Sandvig out there, as that's Jeter Mose flying out to center field. So not the same as the first inning. The Mustangs get 1 base runner, and they leave him stranded. 6-0 is the score as we head to the top of the third. Six to 0 is the score as we return. Charlie Marshall alongside Tyler Raimundo on the call in St. Joseph. We've seen a great game, or a great start from the Mustangs so far tonight as they look to continue their early lead. The first pitch is swung on a miss. We're back to the top of the order now as this is Asa Rapp, the shortstop, stepping in for the Crop Dusters.
Now for Denton Biller. Attack, attack, attack. We've said it before. We'll say it again. Get yourself back in that dugout as quick as possible. That's the great start. Fastball. Blew it right by him. Goes to the slider. Called strike. See if you get out of here in 12 pitches or less.
Rapp standing at 6'1", about 200 pounds. A good size for a shortstop. Not a great swing, though, as Biller sends him back to the dugout. That's 4 straight for Denton Biller.
When you go down 0-2 after those 2 pitches, a fastball up and a slider away, there's almost anywhere Biller can turn to pitch-wise, location-wise. You're up there guessing, and high fastball. Got it right under his bat.
After watching like 4 consecutive strikeouts, Tyler, is that at all maybe Biller's mind? How many can he get in a row, or are you just still pitching up there as a pitcher?
I think it's more of the fear of the batter who's coming up next to try and break it, as opposed to the pitcher. As a pitcher, you're just rolling. You're not really thinking about it. It kind of doesn't even cross your mind. But as the batter, you're like, I don't know if I want to be that 5th strikeout in a row. But could happen
Sonnenberg's
right here.
in danger of making it 5 as he falls down 0-2 after he fouls one back.
Wouldn't it be nice to pitch like this every single outing?
I'm sure Denton Biller would agree with you there. The 0-2 pitch from Biller as he looks to make it 5 straight strikeouts. And it is right there on the outside corner. 5 in a row for Denton Biller.
And this is the 1-2-3 hitters for one of the best teams in the Mink League. But he is making quick work here in this third inning.
Crop Dusters 5-1, haven't played the best of competition. Their one loss, which came against the Carroll Merchants, who, Tyler, we watched the Mustangs defeat last night 9-7. A foul ball, and again Biller gets ahead of the account. But yeah, the Merchants a great team, so I mean it's not a terrible loss for the Crop Dusters.
Merchants are definitely better than the record.
I agree with that statement. They came in at 3-5 yesterday. They are now 3-6 on the year, but team did not play like they are 3 games under 500.
No immaculate inning here, but still a chance to strike out the side with 10 pitches, as he had 7 in a row to start this inning.
You never want to mention that when it's happening, though.
That's why I said it afterward.
I agree.
It's in the back of our minds.
We were all thinking it. That one is going to be a ground ball as Black maneuvers Holton, but no play. As Black was probably the only one who really had a chance at making that one.
Yeah, and because Black didn't quite get there, he almost set a screen for his shortstop.
Yeah,
as he had to maneuver around the third baseman. But, again, infield single, nothing to worry about if you're Biller. Just go out there, get the next guy, get your team back in that dugout.
So the Crop Dusters, despite having no runs, have now had a base runner in every inning. But can't seem to find a way to bring them in.
Biller looks to settle in now. He has thrown first pitch strikes to all 4 batters this inning and has thrown 1 ball in his 10 pitches. That's 90%.
In case you struggle with math, Tyler, with a great breakdown.
Now he's 2 for 11, so that means
What kind of math you got here?
probably around 81% strikes.
I'm going to fact check you. There we go.
There you go. Divide 2 by 11 right there, big boy. Let's see it.
2 divided by 11 for those watching is, or excuse me. I struggle to use a calculator. 81. Wow. That one skied out to McCollum in center field. Or not quite far enough. It's going to be Holton going back on it to make the play. So another quick inning from Biller, 1 runner on, but he never even reaches scoring positions. The Mustangs hold on to the 6-0 lead as they look to make it even bigger in the bottom half of the third inning. Bottom of the third inning here at Phil Welch Stadium. Mustangs lead at 6-0. Kyle Hepburn starting things off here in the bottom of the third. His last at-bat, Hepburn singled to shortstop. Had the high chopper, if you remember that one, where there was no play. Hepburn dug it out. got an RBI, too.
Hepburn was out in front on his first AB. As I'm going to make a bold prediction, Charlie, because if I miss this, it doesn't sound too bad. If I do call this correctly, this is going in my portfolio. I got Kyle Hepburn. He had 7 home runs at Johnson County this past season. I'm thinking he gets his first home run for the Mustangs this at-bat.
Right here. The 1-1 count.
That's not fair. That's not fair. Pitcher must have heard me. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Tyler was very hopeful. He was going to just snipe a home run call. Instead, Hepburn takes one off, grazes the ribs. So that's another base runner for the Mustangs and another incorrect prediction for Tyler Bermundo.
And I feel like if I predicted enough, it'll come true. I mean, if I were to bet on this guy going yard, it might not be a bad pick. This guy's 5 for his last 6.
I think I might take Darius Freeman to hit a double. How do you think about that?
I mean, if you're going off of his stats, it's a 67% chance, as he's hit 4 doubles in his last 6
of percentages.
Ty, the math guy.
Oh, that was almost bad. Hepburn looking to steal. You couldn't see it on your screen, but he left very early, able to get back. Freeman, another hard hit ball. This one going to be gloved. The Crop Dusters get the out at second base, but no chance as Freeman too fast for Asa Rapp to even really think about throwing over to first.
No, he got the play, and it wasn't that close of a play. It was kind of a close play at second, as the second baseman kind of took his time a bit, a little bit of a high flip. Still got the out, no problem.
Sometimes it can be hard for the infielder to judge whether they go overhand or a flip. There, Beeler went with the flip, and it almost cost him. Another weird hop off the mound. This one right to third base, but thrown way over, as that's Cole Sonnenberg with an error, allowing Jordan Black to reach safely at first base. A lot of weird hops today so far. That one shot right to Sonnenberg, who had time to make the play, but just couldn't.
Yeah, we talked about internal clock with infielders, and he had a little bit more time than he thought, but really tried to get that ball out quick, and it cost him. About these hops, it's weird because I haven't seen this happen at all this season, and all of a sudden we have 3 now in the first 3 innings of this ball game.
I mean, I really don't think it has too much to do with the field of Phil Welch. I think it's they're just hitting him straight off the mound.
My best guess would be the little cutout in front of home plate, the dirt circle around home, and it's just catching the lip and shooting upward. It's dirt field here at Phil Welch, which is becoming less and less common these days. A lot of turf fields.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation to have as McCullum takes the 0-2. Freeman's going to look to steal home, and he does. Is that Freeman speed pays off again? Mustangs lead 7-0.
I'm assuming Freeman has an incredible baseball IQ. Seeing that ball squirt away only about 5-6 feet to that dirt circle, you're probably not going, but he caught the pitcher sleeping right there. Graith not jumping off the mound immediately, and that's why he was able to score.
This one grounded well foul as head coach Johnny Coy looked to make a play on that one and kind of whiffed.
Now he's got to get in front of that ball, body it up. You got a big frame, probably looking 6'2", 210.
He's a big guy. He's a tall dude.
Just let that go by. Kind of Olayed that one. Should be 1 error for the Mustangs in the scorebook.
An error, I guess, the Mustangs are happy with there?
Yeah, guess so. And banana ball, I know the fancy catch it can a coach, although that wouldn't make any sense. Except what if you hit it to a coach, they can just chuck it anywhere they want to.
The 2-2 to Trevor McCullum is high. McCullum in his last at-bat grounded out to third base. Although on the year, hitting almost 500, hitting 450, where he was before his last at-bat. He leads the team in batting average all the way down here in the 8-hole. That one up and in, he takes for ball 4. So the 1-out walk leaves 2 on for Staley graduate Jackson Glick. Saley's a high school, by the way, in the Kansas City area. So Glick not yet starting his college career.
And he's headed over to Pima Community College out in Arizona. A couple of these Mustangs headed out to the Pacific Southwest. Good baseball out there.
That one, well, foul. Glick on the year has done some serious damage for the Mustangs, although tonight 0 for 1.
Glick always finds himself in RBI scoring opportunities and hitting in different spots of the lineup. Today in the 9 hole already has 2 on and only 1 out.
Glick has 3 RBIs, but they have been 3 huge RBIs. I can remember every single one of them, one being a 2-out single, which drove in 2 to give us the lead versus the Renegades, I believe. And then he had a 2-out double to give us the lead earlier in the year as well.
I believe that was for...
This one's going to be shot to shortstop. That's Rapp camped under it for the 1-out grab.
Yeah, I think he had a double against Chillicothe, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I remember that being correct as well. Either way, Glick's been productive on the year for the Mustangs. One of the few inexperienced college players in this Mustangs lineup.
But he's hanging with them for sure.
This one's going to be pulled right through the legs of Garrett Haying at first base, and that's going to be another run. Another error. The ball's flying all around here at Phil Welch. The ball finally knocked down, but not in time, as that's Frank Gall sliding into third base with, I don't even know what to call that.
Hot potato. Hot potato. That's what we'll go with. Ground ball right to the first baseman. And we want to talk about grass versus turf. On turf, that's an easy hop. But on grass and dirt, that ball looked like it was going to bounce high and skip low. All of a sudden, on the third of second base was a little short hop, and Frank Gall is standing on third with 2 runs in and a runner on third.
Yeah, weird inning. But the Mustangs have found a way to get 3. So the Crop Dusters not doing what we kind of were talking about earlier in terms of limiting the Mustangs and kind of chipping away. It's only getting worse for them early on.
Yeah, if you have 9 runs on 4 hits, it's like a Little League game.
Yeah, I mean, I assume we're calling that an error, as that one went, Bill Buckner style right through the legs of Luke Reth over there. Or excuse me, Luke Reth's on the mound. Garrett Haying.
What's funny is you second guess yourself. I was like, man, you pulled off Bill Buckner. I didn't think about the second name, but got to be confident with that one, Charlie.
Haying over at first base. He's been well tonight. Hasn't had too many opportunities except for that one in the field. It shot right through his leg. So a couple unearned runs for the Mustangs. As we're full to Carson Schreck. Frank Gall doesn't record any RBIs for that, despite bringing in 2. As that one is pulled and hit hard, but not hard enough. As that's Peyton Fort, who was in the right spot at the right time, records the 3rd out for the Crop Dusters. But the Mustangs get 3 more, making it 9-0 in just the 3rd inning. 9-0 is your score as we welcome you back into Phil Willis Stadium. I'm Charlie Marshall alongside Tyler Bermundo. And a bit of a blowout here, Tyler, so far right now.
Yeah, we've seen the Mustangs win by a good amount of runs, but never this early, at least at home. But a quick 9-0 lead. In that last inning, they scored 3 runs without recording a hit.
Yeah, that was, if you want to look back at exactly how the last inning went, we had a hit by pitch, a fielder's choice, then an error on the third baseman, who was Cole Sonnenberg, followed by a walk. Then we had a ground out, or a fly out, and then a 2-run error on Garrett Haying at first base. And that was all it took. So a weird inning, Tyler, really weird inning. Not something we've seen a lot of this year.
That's why baseball's a team game. It's not just the pitcher. You see a score like this, you're thinking, oh, man, you got lit up. But outside of Darius Freeman, there really hasn't been too many hard-hit balls from the Mustangs. Nevertheless, they're up 9-0 in the third inning. The top of the fourth.
Top of the fourth and 4 errors. So right now the Crop Dusters are on pace for 9 errors tonight. There's another strikeout for Biller. He continues his dominance, as this time it's Connor McImpine going back to the dugout, disappointed.
Biller, who goes to Johnson County Community College, is a redshirt freshman standing at 6'3", 200 pounds. And Johnson County, just a powerhouse in the JUCO division. Made a World Series run, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, got to the final. Didn't go their way in the championship, but still a great season for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, that JUCO ball is no joke. You talk about D1, D2, D3, but JUCO ball sits pretty close to. I mean, there are teams that are D1 level in JUCO ball. Johnson County being one of them.
I think a lot of the schools at Division I JUCO level can beat a good half of the Division I schools.
Definitely. You put Johnson County in a Power 5 school. I mean, they're not winning the division by any means, but they'd fit right in.
Yeah, I mean, we both go to Kansas, and I mean, Kansas had a really good year. I mean, I still think a game between KU and some of the better JUCOs in the country would be a good game. I would at least entertain the thought of that.
As we're bantering here, Biller has set down back-to-back batters. How many strikeouts has he had, Charlie?
He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts through just 3 2/3 innings of work. And he's already ahead of Diego Morales, 0-1.
And Morales struck out his last at-bat.
I think we need to take a look into most strikeouts by a Mustang. One game, Biller could be on pace to break a record. Who knows? That one misses down.
You get him, maybe Sam Pitts, and Jace Johnson coming to the pen, and maybe we're looking at a 20K game combined, except the fact that they're up 9-0 and that run rule comes into effect.
Yeah, so the run rule is a 10-run lead after any point within the seventh inning. So still some baseball left to be played either way tonight. Unfortunately, if you can't really see the sky, but it doesn't look too pretty out here in St. Joe. I feel like every time, you and me broadcast these games, we get a sunny game and then a rainy game. We've gone back and forth.
It's interesting. Charlie has not had a normal broadcast. I come in smooth sailing when I do play-by-play. When Charlie comes, it's raining or the St. Joseph Tenderloins come to town.
Strike 3 is what Kyle Hepburn and the rest of the Mustangs were looking for. But they didn't get it. The check swing was indeed checked.
Well, you can see here if the ball lies or does not lie. I thought he actually held up.
The full count pitch to Diego Morales. Biller kicks and deals. Swung on, hit sharply to first base. No problem for Jeter Mose over there as he flips it back to the pitcher's mound. Another quick inning for Denton Biller as he tallies 2 more strikeouts. He's up to 7 tonight. Welcome back to Phil Welch Stadium. It looks like we've seen enough of Greth tonight, as that is all he will do. Luke Greth finishes with just 3 innings pitched, giving up 9 runs, although only 6 of them were earned. Or excuse me, not even 6. 5 of those 9 tallying as earned runs. New pitcher for the Crop Dusters is DJ Harris out of McHenry Community College, which is located in Crystal Lake, Illinois.
And Harris, much like a lot of these guys in the Crop Dusters line, we haven't talked about it yet, but almost all of them are two-way players. DJ Harris no different, and if you look at his stats, he mostly hit, as he had 30 at-bats, had 3 doubles for a .267 average at McHenry Community College.
I mean, Tyler, you're a two-way. Do you find it, which one do you find more difficult while doing the other?
Oh, that's a good question, Charlie. Let me think about that one. I find pitching to be difficult doing both because hitting takes so much out of you. At KU, I would start games on the mound while also hitting leadoff.
As that one's pulled sharply into left field. That's Mason Holton with a leadoff single to left field.
Going back to what you said, like you were going to get 4 at-bats a game. That's always a given. And guys who are successfully start in the batting lineup and also pitch, they know they're getting their 4 at-bats. But pitching just adds a whole different element. Also, you have to be able to distinguish the two. There could be a day where you give up 5 runs as a pitcher, but you also can't let that affect your batting. So I almost feel like I'm 2 different players out there when I am a two-way, and I think of my performances as such.
That's a good way to look at it. I mean, you almost have to do that no matter where you're playing, though. You really don't want to let, especially I catch a lot, or it's really all I do, but you don't want to let your bat affect what you're doing back behind the plate. I mean, and that goes with any position, but pitching and catching, I'd say more so because those guys are so heavily involved with what's going on the defensive side of the field.
When you are a two-way, though, on days you start on the mound, the feeling you get in your legs and your lower back is just atrocious. Doing one or the other, you do have some soreness in the legs when you pitch, and when you hit, it takes a toll on your body, but doing both, that has you feeling pain for a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine. I would have no idea what soreness in the leg feels like, Tyler, so I would just, I just really feel for you.
Charlie, just a workhorse behind the plate.
That one hit well opposite field, going back on it and robbing Jeter Mosey of a home run is Peyton Fort. He went up, scaling the wall to make that catch. Wow.
Yeah, that was a great grab by Ford out there. He got to the track, felt the track, saw the wall, took his eye off the ball for a second, went up and made a nice grab. I don't know if it would have quite gone out, but at least robbed Mosaic of a couple extra bases. Also showing how much pop the Mustangs first baseman has. He didn't put that great of a swing on it, but almost took it out to right field.
Yeah, off the bat, he didn't even seem too excited with that swing. The short porch in right field can be kind to some players, usually lefties there. We almost saw Mosaic, and I mean, we can't tell for sure from here, but that was close, if not to going out.
As an outfielder, when you're going back on balls, it's not something we work on a tremendous amount. At least the home run robbery, we work on balls off the wall.
That throw was there in time, but way offline. So Frank Gall, or excuse me, not Frank Gall, Mason Holden records the stolen base.
But yeah, you work a lot on feeling for the wall, but when you come into the game, it's a whole different ball game. I think I've had chances to rob home runs maybe twice in my life. So it's something that your natural athleticism has to take over with. A great play out there by the right.
Heads up. Oh, my. Kyle Hepburn just threw his bat all the way into the stadium, or the fans.
It's crowd over there by one of our interns. Is that would have been a nice souvenir, but guess he's going to need that one back. It's at the major leagues out here.
Yeah, I think Kyle Hepburn, he broke a bat yesterday, I'm pretty sure. I saw that one in the team shop, so if you want a Kyle Hepburn broken bat, take a gander to Phil Welch and the team shop. So, yeah, he can't afford to lose another one.
As Darius Freeman supplies him the pine tar.
That's always a gesture, a very kind gesture after we see a bat launched. That thing was launched.
I think, yeah, I would say exit velocity of the hand, maybe coming in about 35 miles an hour. Pretty good launch angle, 28 degrees, and that ball carried probably about 100 feet.
Well said. Hepburn looking to hit the baseball a little harder than 35 miles an hour, though.
Who needs StatCast, eh, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, Tyler's been all over the most obscure stats tonight. Whether it's averages, I'm not sure what's. You're just dialed in right now. The 2-2, just outside. Hepburn takes. And, I always wonder as a catcher myself, am I getting a little leeway from the umpire? Like, I'm always thinking, like, oh, maybe I'll get a strike called a ball because, I'm buddies with the home plate umpire. At least I like to think that. Hepburn got a piece of that one to stay alive. Still full. It looks like the home plate umpire is going to give a little bit of time to Caden Summers back there. There's Caden Sammers. He took the foul ball right off the groin, and that does not feel good.
No, not for him, not for his kids.
Really getting hit anywhere back there hurts, Tyler. I'm going to be honest. You're never something you want to see happen to anyone.
No, definitely not. Going back to your question, though, about something. What was your question about, Charlie?
I think we were just talking about your stats. Your great night tonight.
No, it was about a rapport with the umpire.
Oh, yes, of course. I forgot my own question. This one is going to be skied in foul territory and brought in by Hang over there at first base. So this one does not look like it'll be a problem for Garrett Hang. He brings that one in.
I do think having a good rapport with the umpire makes a difference because when you got a borderline call and you're not sure where you're going to go with either a play at first or a ball or strike call, you're going to go with your first instinct, your first reaction. And if you had a friendly interaction with the catcher or if you had the coach yelling at the inning before, without really thinking subconsciously, you're going to have a call go one way.
Freeman going double hunting. This one just foul as he tried to go to left field after pulling one off the wall to right field in the first inning.
Freeman's just looked locked in at the plate the last couple of games.
Yeah, it was, I think the minute you mentioned his batting average being below the Mendoza line yesterday, he just has gotten out one time, and he's had 8 at-bats. So you can imagine what that will do to a player's confidence and his batting average.
So, yeah, Charlie, Darius Freeman was hitting 167. You hear that, Freeman? You were hitting 167.
You're trying to manifest some more positivity here from Darius Freeman. That one taken outside, a beautiful backdoor slider. Freeman hitting above 330 now. Above 350 if you look at his double in the first inning. So a crazy turnaround. Went from one of the lower averages to now one of the highest averages on the Mustangs.
No, really just not the guy you want to face if you're the Crop Dusters.
This time, it's the pitching. DJ Harris getting the best of Darius Freeman. Freeman strikes out, swinging on a pitch in the dirt. But the Mustangs still hold their 9-0 lead, so not too big of a deal. We will return in the top of the 5th with some trivia. In steps Levi Beeler as we return here in the top of the 5th inning. New pitcher on the mound for the Mustangs, Bronco Witt, who absolutely shoved in his last inning. Had 6 Ks, or not last inning, last appearance, had 6 Ks. That was versus Chillicothe on the road as they won 11-1 in that one. Tyler, what do you have to say about Bronco Witt?
Yeah, we saw him. He was a little shaky, maybe shaking off the nerves a bit his first outing at home, but shoving 6 Ks on the road, that's got to feel great for your confidence. Hopefully he settles in, gets ahead of hitters. He's a ready ahead 1-2.
The 1-2 pitch from Witt is in there. Strike 3.
You can just tell, even with the strut after the strikeout, he's a completely different pitcher than when he first started. Just so much confidence, trusting his stuff, and willing to go after guys.
So that's 2 Taco Ks on the night, as you correctly predicted, Tyler. I guess we'll see if he...
Take him out.
I wonder We need to find out where you get this taco from. You have knowledge of that? Where you're getting these, where the fans here at Phil Welch get their tacos from?
I don't. Honestly, I have not eaten anything at the stadium outside of the hot dogs.
Well, I don't. Are they here, or is it? I think they can go claim the taco from somewhere else. I'm not sure.
Something we got to find out, Charlie.
I know we were letting some of these tacos get away from us.
Witt stands at 5'10", 165 pounds. The freshman from Maple Woods Community College.
Two strikes on another hitter. Witt looking for back-to-back Ks, and he gets it. So out of the pen, Bronco Witt with back-to-back strikeouts. Before our next hitter, we're going to take a look at the trivia question of the day. That's right. A little bit of a new segment here. Mustangs Trivia.
Every fifth inning.
Question today, Tyler, we're going to see if you know the answer to this one. Along with anyone at home, feel free to play along. What year was Phil Welch Stadium built?
Looking at my options right here, it's obviously not 1983 because Satchel Paige and Mickey Mantle made an appearance. I also think it's not 1959 because that was a little bit after their time. It could be 1923. Buck O'Neil made his professional debut around that time, but I'm going to go with B, 1939.
The 2-1 misses outside. Tyler with a guess of B. Make sure you get your guesses in at home. The correct answer is 1939.
1 for 1 on the year, baby.
1 for 1 indeed. That's a ground ball. That's the third out. Just kidding. That one squeaks away from Jeter Mose at first base. So we're going to stay here, actually. Now,
that's one of those you just laugh about. Is that error on Mose? That's one of those you see on SC, not top 10. Ball was thrown right at his chest, and he was super casual with it. He didn't move 5 seconds after the ball kicked off his glove. But no biggie, 9-0 game in summer ball. But, yeah, just a funny little error there.
Yeah, Mose, he's been solid all year at first base. A little cough up right there. But congratulations, Tyler. 1-0 on the year on your trivia.
Going for the perfect season, the immaculate season here. Let's see if I can stump Charlie with a question next time, as he'll be answering tomorrow night. Game time at 7 o'clock as the Mustangs take on the Chillicothe Mudcats.
Be the third matchup of the year for the Mustangs versus the Mudcats. Obviously, the Mustangs have won both as they're still undefeated. Looks like they could be 9-0 if all goes well the rest of tonight.
Yeah, they have back-to-back games against Chillicothe as they're at home at 7 o'clock, and they go to Chillicothe at 5 o'clock on Sunday. That'll spell the end of a 10 straight days of baseball games. 10 straight days of Mustangs baseball.
Yeah, it's been a grind, I'm sure, for these players. I mean, we haven't traveled with the team, but even coming here for the last couple days, I mean, it's tiring for sure. Late nights. You got to be at the ballpark, no later than noon if you're a player. Maybe a little later, actually. But that strike 3 for Bronco Witt. So he doesn't strike out the side, but he does get 3 Ks. A beautiful outing from Witt. Mustangs lead at 9-0 going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Jordan Black leading things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Mustangs got ahead early in this one and never looked back.
All I need is 1 run now. Not to seal the deal, they still have to go to the top of the 7th inning, but looking to put this game and send these fans home early. Jordan Black, the sophomore, who's headed to Wichita State next year, batted .344 with 10 home runs at Johnson County Community College. Still looking for his first Mustang home run, though.
Yeah, I'm sure we will see it soon enough. So far in the night, Jordan Black has an RBI ground out to short and then reached by way of an error on the third baseman, Cole Sonnenberg.
The Mustangs, although have been scoring a lot of runs all year, have only hit 1 home run at home coming off the bat of Jeter Mose. Darius Freeman almost got one.
Mose almost had another one.
Mose almost had another one. And Freeman last game hit one off the wall
Yeah,
as well.
no, yeah.
So.
The yellow frog wall out there, you guys can't get a look at it, but it's been getting a little bit more attention than early on, to say the least. The 1-2 is taken way outside. Black with a little shuffle after the ball. Tyler, how do you feel about that? Some refer to it as the Soto shuffle, named after Juan Soto, but almost just like kind of pimping a ball in a sense.
Well, it just goes to how different the game has grown over the last couple years. Soto shuffles, bat flips have come around, double celebrations. It's this new era of baseball. I'm all here for it. I think the game needs emotion. It's got to stay away from just an old person game.
Yeah, as
What's
ball
the
4
ruling there?
That's a very strange. If you guys can't see exactly what happened, so that was ball 4. And when you do walk, you are allowed to advance at your own will. You get first base freely, but that one then hit a rock or something, shot all the way up into this weird netting the Mustangs have, and rolled almost up to the roof of Phil Welch.
I would have thought he would have taken second right there.
I thought you would maybe get second.
Yeah,
the ball left the field to play. The umpires never reacted. I wonder if something like that has happened before here.
Yeah, definitely something I've never seen before. I guess you play this game every day, you watch this game every day, and something new can always happen.
But it's going to be a walk for Black. So he starts off the inning with a walk. His second time reaching today. And in steps Trevor McCullum, the center fielder for the Mustangs. He's played center field every time he's been in the lineup.
He does a good job patrolling out there. No question about it.
DJ Harris, a lot of off-speed from him, more than we saw from Luke Greth early on in this one.
Trevor McCullum out of Washburn, as he batted .367 last year, and he has been on the academic honor roll every year he's been in college.
Good for Trevor.
He's also a two-sport athlete in high school, where he also played basketball. Couldn't really play basketball as the 5'8" product out of Long Beach, California myself. He's not gifted with that height.
Sounds like an excuse to me.
I also couldn't shoot, so that didn't really help either. Couldn't really make layups either. The height didn't help, but there was a lot of reasons why I did not shoot the basketball. Golf, though, could have played.
McCullum shoots one into the hole over there, gloved and fielded successfully by Levi Beeler. He's cleaned up his play tonight since the first inning error. And steps Jackson Glick. That ball's hit just far enough to Beeler's right, so he didn't have any chance at making a play or a double play.
Yeah, no, it hit decently hard. Ball slowed down on the grass, and smart way to go there. No point in trying to get the lead runner first out of the inning.
We've talked about Glick a lot, but the one thing I can say with 1,000% confidence is he likes to take hacks.
Yes, the Pima Community College product I think only has square on his controller. For you Xbox people, that's X. Only has the power swing in his arsenal. But hey, it's summer ball. You got a lefty, short porch. Let's see some fireworks here. I'd love it.
Am I sensing another home run prediction from you right here, Tyler?
No.
That one hit well into the gap, but it's going to be caught, or excuse me, down. The ball was bounced into the mitt of Ben Sandvig. So that's a 2-strike single for Jackson Glick. A good piece of hitting. Not the first time we've seen him go the opposite way for a base hit.
He's pretty consistent at left center gap. Center fielder for the Crop Dusters. Decent jump there. One of those plays where he tried to lay out, and probably midway through the dive, he thought, there's no way I'm getting that. So he was able to pick it off the ground, but kind of an awkward dive there. It's happened to all of us.
Yeah, it looked off. I thought he made the play from up here, but again, we're a little far away from center field.
It's happened a couple times where balls hit to the outfield, and we think it's one thing, ball gets down.
So now Jordan Black on third, Jackson Glick at first. One out here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Frank Gall at the plate, and he was a two-way outfielder who was teammates with Bronco Witt, who just pitched last inning at Maple Woods Community College. He hit .392 with 36 stolen bases, while also having 11 games on the mound in a starting role. That is a lot of baseball for one guy.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine how much he's played and how many miles he totaled on his legs this past year.
Glick making a little bit of noise over there at first base. Tried to read the pitcher early, but that's why he stepped off.
This one grounded out to Beeler at second, who went for the tag play, couldn't get it, and he's left with no play. What's the ruling on that one, Tyler?
It's going to go down as an infield single, but that was definitely a makeable play to at least get the guy at first. Frank Gall does run pretty well, but I think he would have had him.
More importantly, the 10th run scores for the Mustangs, so we are officially in mercy rule territory if they can hold the lead.
Yeah, and Crop Dusters have one hit right now, so it's definitely possible. You take away the errors in this game. I know the starting pitcher, Luke Greth, gave up 6 earned, but take away the errors, maybe a couple of those bang-bang plays, and this game is much closer. I wouldn't say the bats for the Mustangs have been on fire by any means. A couple of hard hit balls by Darius Freeman. Glick with a nice hard hit, but it's not like they're swinging their way to a 10-run lead, just taking advantage of some poor defense on the other side.
If you're wondering what the starting pitcher for the Crop Dusters stat line looks like, it's going to be 3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 9 runs scored, 5 earned, 4 walks, and 0 strikeouts. So not Luke Greth's best appearance so far this year.
Yeah, but he also did not record a K, so a lot of balls in play, and they're just finding ways to get on those Mustangs.
A lot of coaches will tell you that if you just eliminate the strikeout, you know, and that's exactly what the Mustangs did tonight, that a lot of things can go your way. It's a ball. You're playing on a dirt field. You know, who knows what can happen. And that's what we've seen tonight.
Yeah, in MLB, there's argument for you want guys that hit for a ton of power, and they have some strikeout in their game, but at levels not professional, balls in play. And another walk right there. We also can't have free passes at any level, but errors still happen even at the college level at a rate much lower than the MLB. So you keep putting balls in play, and it's going to result in a couple runs a game.
That's Carson Schrack, the Arkansas commit, drawing the walk. In steps Mason Holton. He's one for one tonight. 2 walks and a single to left field.
Reach base every time, and you get on base 3 times. Now could be the time for you to try to make this a 2-touchdown lead. Mason Holden probably going to be taking some hacks right here.
Holton would need a grand slam in order to extend the lead to 14 runs.
Love to see it, though.
Certainly capable of doing it. Haven't seen him leave the yard yet, but we've seen some serious pop. That one skips away, and it's going to be another run for the Mustangs. This time it's Jordan Black coming in to score. That pitch in the dirt, blockable, but unable to be smothered by Caden Samler.
Although can't hit the grand slam, could still extend this to a 14-0 ball game. Mason Holton, who's at a Coffeyville Community College originally, well, he started at Fort Hays State, then transferred to Coffeyville Community College, had an OPS of 992, which for you non-stat nerds is very good. And last year at West Carolina University, he had an OPS of around 950.
Yeah, he's proven everywhere he's went that he is a high-caliber player, including St. Joe.
Also, the infielder stands at a 6'3", 190-pound frame. That is a perfect build for a baseball player.
Yeah. The 1-2 pitch comes in at the eyes of Holton. He takes, making it 2-2. Still just one out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Mustangs lead it 11-0. Been a messy game for the Crop Dusters, and the Mustangs have taken advantage of it, to say the least.
Yeah, looking at these two teams' record going into this, 5-1 and 7-0, this is not the kind of ball game you'd expect.
Yeah, those are the two teams' Mink League records. Like, those were the records that really matter. And again, not the teams that the Mustangs and the Crop Dusters have faced have been all the same except for two, or all different except for two. The Clarinda A's, which both teams beat, and then the Carroll Merchants, which the Mustangs defeated last night, and the Crop Dusters lost to just the day before. This one pulled sharply, but foul. Count remains 2-2.
Yeah, the Mustangs and Crop Dusters, two of the three teams above 500 in the Mink League. The other one being the Sedalia. Sedalia, thank you so much. I was struggling on that one.
Again, Tyler from out west. That one grounded to Beeler, who lightly tosses, almost too lightly, but the play is made. The run is scored. 2 outs and 12-0 is what we're looking at here in the bottom of the fifth.
The Mustangs, in their upcoming schedule, they've taken on Chillicothe at home and then go on a 3-game road trip where they play the Chillicothe Mudcats. They play the Jefferson City Renegades. They play the Carroll Merchants before coming back here next Thursday. They don't meet the Sedalia. They don't meet the Sedalia Bombers.
That was a beautiful play there from hanging at first base. Flashes the leather in order to save a run. Score remains 12-0, but the run saved for what it's worth. We'll see you guys at the top of the fifth inning. Don't go anywhere. Mustangs looking for a blowout. Welcome back to Phil Welch Stadium. I'm Charlie Marshall, joined by Tyler Bermundo. We're bringing it to you guys from the booth in St. Joseph, Missouri. Bronco Witt staying on the mound after his 3-strikeout inning.
He's looked very confident so far, pitching in front of the home fans.
Yeah, home away, doesn't matter. Witt's up to 9 Ks in his last 2 outings.
Bronco Witt playing with some timing right there. That's always an element of a pitcher that you can use at any level, at any velocity. And some people may not like it in this day of baseball, but as a hitter, that frustrates the heck out of you.
Yeah, it's a weird tool a lot of pitchers like to use, especially at the pro level. The 2-2 pitch from Witt taken upstairs.
First guy that comes to mind is Nestor Cortez.
I was thinking the same thing. I feel like the guy who really invented it was Johnny Cueto. Back when he was on Cincinnati Reds and then the Royals, we really started him to start to jiggle with the leg and all the weird timing mechanisms pitchers use.
It can make a guy who doesn't have overpowering stuff, if he masters timing, just frustrates the opposition, and it can really be a fun tool to use. Other tools to talk about are mixing up arm angles. That's something that's developed more. I think of Nestor Cortez as well. Tyler Anderson on the Angels does it. I used to do it. Couldn't throw a strike, but
I was going to ask, why did we stop doing it, Tyler?
couldn't throw a strike, and I think I threw about 74 miles an hour.
Can't knock you for trying, you know? Me and Tyler before the game were looking at his pitch overlays from when he was throwing sidearm.
Made in iMovie. It's pretty cool. Pretty easy to do. I did a really stupid thing where
that one's hit well, and it's going to be a single. So the Crop Dusters looking to muster a little bit of a comeback right here. 2 on, no one out. And in steps Connor McElpile.
Yeah, it was pretty easy to do, and I had this thing where I put my phone in the strike zone of a net and let it ride there for about 10 pitches. Luckily, didn't break it, but I was able to make a pretty cool video there. I got inspired by all this by Pitching Ninja. If you haven't checked out Pitching Ninja on YouTube, it's such a fun channel. He breaks down pitchers, pitches, spin rates. It's really a great tool to see the new era of pitching and the new area of analytics we have come to know.
McAlpine takes upstairs 2-0. It is interesting to see how much more science is looked into pitching now. A lot more video, slow motion, mechanical breakdown. And that kind of goes for everything. I think it's just the advancement of technology.
Baseball is just such a stat-oriented sport. Obviously, football and basketball have stats. You points per game. You have quarterback rating. But baseball is where they break down every single swing, every single pitch. And I think it's just such a science-driven sport now more than any other sport out there.
I would agree. It's definitely a craft that a lot of players spend a lot of time on.
And there's so many different ways to tell a story with baseball stats, from the ones as simple as batting average to things like WAR, weighted runs created, things like spin rate on a fastball, approach angles. It's all
strike
so
3 there from Bronco Witt.
Yeah, it's so different now. And then StatCast out other things like swing speed, barrel percentage, just more and more stats coming out every day.
In steps Caden Samler, who's been catching tonight for the Crop Dusters.
I can't even imagine, and this is more of a general thing, like how much life is going to change in the next 10 years in terms of technology, but how do you think baseball will change in the next 10 years because of technology?
I mean, it's a tough question. We've already seen advancements with the pitch clock and things like that. I don't know what. I mean, the automated strike zone is definitely something that comes to mind. Not sure how you feel about that. Hepburn tries to nab Rapp, who looked to steal the base. Can't do so. Or, excuse me, that was Peyton Fort.
Hepburn with a really strong throw back there.
But it's a strikeout either way. So Samler up and down on just 3 pitches.
I've talked about my disdain for the automatic strike zone. I think it completely undervalues the catcher position. Now a guy can basically stand up, and he doesn't have to worry about pitch framing. Base runners aren't going to steal as much because a guy's in a position straight up. Pop times will go down. I do, and I don't know why this isn't talked about more. What if we had bases that were sensitive to touch? All of a sudden now you could have a system where in the instant replay, when a player touches a base, you could tell exactly when, and then you could freeze it, and now you'll never have issues between calling guys out or safe on the bases.
Similar to maybe the Olympics for like swimming or something to paint a visual in the head of some of you guys.
Exactly, or like in tennis with the ball being in or out. I think that would be something that every fan could get behind because balls and strikes, it's always debated if a guy misses his spot, if it's a good frame or an umpire is being consistent. But no one wants to see a blown call on the bases.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Safe and out is just not something that's up to the umpire's discretion, as this one's going to be flared into right field, which will break the shutout for the Crop Dusters tonight. So they're able to find a way to muster a run across, making it 12-1. They're going to need a couple more to avoid the mercy rule.
Fortunately for the Crop Dusters, doing a good job of chipping away now, but knock on wood, it's a little too late.
Yeah, this is kind of something they probably needed in the second inning or third inning before the Mustangs scored a couple more runs.
Yeah, they're still chasing 11 here. Going to have to go through the lineup a couple more times in order to get all those runs back.
That's Diego Morales, who poked the ball to right field for the RBI single. Bronco Witt finds the zone. 1-2's the count.
Morales at Iowa Lakes Community College, 78 at bats and had a 388 on base percentage. That's pretty good, especially for his 244 average. So definitely did a good job of working counts and finding ways to get on base other than hits.
In steps Levi Beeler now. So Tyler, you were almost really crazy spot on with your prediction of Beeler's day. He's in danger of, his third strikeout of the game right now.
Where's the taco chance?
That one will not be a free taco for anyone. It's hit into center field. McCollum looks, finds, and brings in the ball for the third out. The Crop Dusters get one, leave 2 stranded. 12-1's the score as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Hunter Brown into pitch now for the Crop Dusters as we welcome you back to Phil Welch Stadium, where the Mustangs lead it 12-1. Brown attending Ellsworth Community College, like a lot of his fellow Crop Duster teammates. That one's going to be flied out to right field, and it gets down. Hepburn thinks about second, decides to head back to first smartly, but he'll take the bloop single.
Hunter Brown stands at a whopping 6'6", 215 pounds for Ellsworth last season, threw 16 and 2/3 innings and had a 12.42 ERA. But yeah, Charlie, 6'6", 215.
Yeah, big dude. And it shows. You can tell just from looking at him out there. Not a guy you'd want to mess with. Freeman lays down the push bunt. And the drag bunt. And it's a beautiful one. So he'll take another base hit.
That makes you smile right there as a broadcaster. You got a guy who has smacked 4 doubles in his last 2 games. All of a sudden lays down a bunt. Almost a guaranteed hit there. I love it. Shohei Ohtani did that too. Guy who won MVP, one of the best hitters in the league. And he had like 4 bunt singles in one of his MVP campaigns. That's just awesome right there.
Now it's Jordan Black. We're going to see if he can continue the little hit parade we're on right now.
Hunter Brown with a very similar frame to Tyler Glasnow. Doesn't throw quite as hard, but still comes straight over the top. So his fastball is going to have a lot of ride. Look at that slider right there. This fastball going to have a lot of backspin, high release. So his ball's going to start high and stay pretty high.
The 1-1 from Brown is hit sharply to third base under the glove of Cole Sonnenberg. And it's going to be another run. And here comes Freeman. He's going to make it 2. 2 runs by way of a double from Jordan Black.
It's very nice of you in the scorebook. I don't know if I have that as a double right there, but Mustangs get 2 on that play nevertheless. Freeman with a little fake out right there. Didn't round third too hard, and once he saw the left fielder commit to hitting the cutoff man, he took off for home without a play. Freeman is just one of the best base runners we've ever seen.
Yeah, he's up there with some of the better ones I've ever seen, like you just said. But he's not strictly just a base runner. Does a lot of other things well for this Mustangs team.
No, really true 5-tool player. Good arm, great speed, can hit for power like we saw, puts bat on ball, and hold his own out there in the outfield.
You don't think that was a double? I mean, the third baseman's ranging to his right. It was a backhanded play. He didn't even get the glove on it.
Yeah, but he also didn't get in front of it. I think that could definitely go either way. I think the press box has that as an error.
I mean, there's just no way that's in there, in my opinion. He's running to his right. It would have. Even if he fields it cleanly, he's going to take an on-the-run throw.
He also could have tapped on third, though.
It's fair.
It was error or not, it was a very makeable play.
I agree with that. So there's the first out of the inning. Trevor McCollum goes down swinging. In steps Jackson Glick,
the recent graduate from Staley High School, class of 2024, and that makes me feel really old.
When did you graduate high school, Tyler? What year?
2021.
Wow. Young buck.
Yeah, I'm young, but I'm compared to you. Old man. Back starting to hurt. Had some cramps earlier. I guess I could talk to it on the broadcast, but I think around the second inning, all of a sudden I got a hamstring cramp. I don't know if you could hear me in pain, but definitely was not pleasant.
Yeah, Tyler was making some questionable noises back here. But we worked through it.
We did. We did. Good team out there. Charlie knew what was going on, did most of the talking. And I was good to go by the third.
Glick trying to go the opposite way. This time he went a little too far, as that's going to be a foul ball.
Judging by the applause, just a great play over there by that young fan. Wow. About 10 years old, got a great read on that pitch. Good first step and a dead sprint.
That's why
Guy about fourth grade ran that down. It's an out banana ball. Not in Mustang ball.
That's why you bring your glove to Phil Welch. The 2-2 to Glick is going to be hit sharply up the middle. It's going to not get through the infield. What a play. The ball squeaks away, though, from hanging at first base. And another run for the Mustangs.
Give credit where credit is due, though. That was a fantastic play by Asa Rapp. I didn't think he had any chance of making that play, and the way he slid and got up and threw that ball, he had a chance. But that also goes back to why fielding percentage may not be the most reliable stat, is that's going to go an error for Asa Rapp on a ball that most people would even have come up cleanly with.
I think that's an error, but also a single for Glick. Would you agree with that or no?
No, that's a straight error.
I think he beats that out, but the run scored on the air.
I thought he was out by a step if he comes up with that. Just unfortunate there for a ball that, it's funny, if he mishandles that on the slide, that's not an error, but because he got it cleanly and then threw it, it's going to hurt his fielding percentage.
So we're up to 6 errors tonight. So the Crop Dusters have kept pace with what I mentioned in the third inning, or the fourth, when they're at 4. Really, really sloppy baseball from Des Moines tonight.
Now we want to see, you got a heavyweight matchup between teams that are combined 11-1 in league play. And someone had to lose this game, but not by this much.
Gall shoots that one into the air, playable and caught. Tagging up is Glick, and he's going to be safely. I mean, how often do you see that?
So here's what I'll say, is that was a very smart play in a close game. And I really like the aggressiveness from Glick right there. But in terms of sportsmanship, that's not what you're looking for. I don't believe in station to station because I think that looks bad. Like, for example, if you hit a ball off the wall and you're standing on first for about 10 seconds, but you don't try to take the extra base. And that's what Jackson Glick did there. I like the thinking, but may not have been the right time.
Nonetheless, Glick showing off some speed.
But yeah, I mean,
for a DH, he's a bigger guy himself. It's rare to see a player tag up on a pop fly to the catcher.
Definitely the first time I've seen that.
See a lot of new things when you come out to Phil Welch Stadium. If you haven't been out yet this year, you need to make an appearance. It's definitely an experience you cannot forget.
Mascots coming out of nowhere. We got a dice roll in between innings.
That one hit well, but right back to the mound, and that's going to be an easy play for the Crop Dusters. So the Mustangs get some more runs, making it 15-1. They leave one guy on base, and that's Jackson Glick standing at second, but still a big, big deficit for the Crop Dusters. Welcome back to Phil Welch Stadium, where the Mustangs are winning, to say the least. If you're just joining us, well, you've missed a lot. It's 15-1 for a reason. Sloppy baseball all around from the Crop Dusters. Jace Johnson, who's pitching now for the Mustangs with a quick 1-pitch, 1 out. 10 hits, 6 errors. It's been a weird game offensively for the Mustangs.
It's one of those where the box score shows you everything you need to know. 6 errors with a couple more that could have been ruled an error. 10 hits for the Mustangs. They did their job when they needed to, and yeah. Not to take away from the Mustangs' performance at all. They have hit the ball hard when they needed to, and a fantastic pitching performance from the Mustangs. Denton Biller going 4 innings. Although in regular baseball you need to go 5 innings in order to earn the win, I believe because this is going to be a 7-inning ball game, assuming they don't give up 4 runs here, Denton Biller will get your win.
1-1's the count to Asa Rapp, who we saw almost make a fantastic play last inning.
Jace Johnson, the 5'10", 185-pound side armor from Scottsdale Community College. He had a 2.63 ERA as one of their primary high leverage guys, as he had 51 Ks and a 2.63 ERA with a 4-2 record and 4 saves. And this is the recipe for a guy you want coming in clutch situations.
Yeah, Johnson's been brilliant out of the pen so far this year for the Mustangs. Lots of strikeouts, lots of quick outs. Hasn't messed around. Not giving up many runs. That one's going to be shot straight up right to Tyler.
Could not make the play because there's a roof on top of me.
Yeah, Johnson on the year, 5 innings. No earned runs. He's got 9 Ks. I mean, wow. He's a strikeout per 9 of 16 as that one is shot down the line. No problem for Mose over there at first base. I mean, what does that say about a pitcher when you have a 16.2 strikeout per 9?
And what's his walk per 9, or how many walks does he have?
He has 1 walk.
Yeah, that is exactly who you want. You got game on the line, whether it's a save situation or coming in to clean up the damage. A guy who has a high strikeout, low walk rate is the perfect guy you want in those high leverage situations. They call them high leverage guys for a reason. Not guys that you come in to close a game, they get a fresh start, but guys that can kind of save you whenever you need it.
Well, we just heard the bells here at Phil Welch for the first time all year in the 7th inning. We like to play the bells here when we're just 1 out away from a victory.
Yeah, although it's going to end up being a lopsided win. This game was over really in the 1st inning.
Yeah, the Crop Dusters showed little to no fight after getting spotted for 6. 2-2's the count. Jace Johnson just 1 strike away from putting everything to bed here in St. Joseph. The 2-2 pitch is fouled straight back. Des Moines lives to see another day. It's Cole Sonnenberg trying to survive and not be the last out right here.
I think if you bet on the Crop Dusters right now, you'd make a lot of money. What would that be?
You're saying...
What are those odds right now?
I don't think... It's one of those where the line has been closed down. The Mustangs are winning by too much to even bet on the game. Johnson gathers himself, but misses way inside. So we're going to see another batter tonight. Sonnenberg with the hit by pitch. And here comes Peyton Fort, who we saw go up over the wall and rob Mose of a home run earlier tonight.
If you want to know how hard it is for those Crop Dusters to come back, Cole Sonnenberg can come up again and still would not be the tying or go-ahead run.
Wouldn't that be something, though? It would be a weird comeback to watch. A lot of the Mustangs fans are heading out as there goes Sonnenberg off for second. And he can have it. Yeah, no stolen bases. Hepburn really didn't have any interest in him. The pitch from Johnson also missed, so it's 1-0 to Fort. Fort on the day. Got hit by a pitch, singled, and then walked. So he's yet to get out tonight.
That would be a great time for that.
One of the few crop dusters who had a good game today. An ugly-looking swing there from Fort makes it a 1-2 count.
It's actually an official stat now, but that is going to go down as a sword.
It's not an official stat.
No, it is. No, I'm serious.
Really?
Yes. One of MLB's new stats for a pitcher is how many swords they get. It's going to be in not a full swing, probably with a bat speed of less than a certain threshold.
I did not know that.
No, it is a real stat now.
That's cool. That's interesting. That's good for the game.
Let me make sure I'm not talking.
2-2 misses in as Tyler goes to the search bar to figure out some rules. Full
yes,
count.
there is a swords leaderboard on
Interesting.
MLB, so it is a real stat.
Another free base from Johnson. As we just mentioned, he had one walk on the year, and he's done back-to-back free passes. Although it's unlikely the Crop Dusters are able to come back here, they do need just one more batter to reach in order to potentially extend the game by way of a home run.
They would need two because 15-5 ball game.
Excuse me. Yes,
10.
you're correct. So a lot of work left for the Crop Dusters to do if we want to see more baseball tonight.
So the official definition of a sword is a swinging strike where the swing is incomplete and the swing speed is in the lowest 10 percentile.
We need to get that on our stat sheet. Chase Johnson leads the team in swords. I wonder. I don't know if that's
The swing
true.
must be no more than 20 miles per hour in the final track frame. This is so cool. I love baseball stats.
That's one stat I would not want to be leading in.
You can look at the current MLB StatCast swords leaders as Aaron Nola of the Phillies has the most swords with 15 in the league.
Well, when I said I wouldn't want to be leading, I meant as the hitter.
No, for sure. But come on, that's a pretty cool stat to lead in as a pitcher. Oh yeah, I have the most swords of the league.
That's pretty funny.
Patrick Sandoval of the Angels tied for second with 14, which means that swords do not equate to teams winning by any means.
Johnson with a little bit of control issues as here comes Coach Stevenson. Something we have not seen from him all year.
I've kind of stopped really paying too much attention to the game at hand and more focused on what's going on my computer with the swords, but time to lock in here for Jace Johnson. Maybe he's just feeling antsy, wants to go home and trying a little too hard. But the last thing you want here is to extend this game another half inning.
But like we just mentioned, it would still take a lot more. As the Crop Dusters here with 2 outs need at least 5 more runs in order to extend this game.
Yeah, so that means the guy who can make this less than a 10-run ball game is still on deck. So back-to-back home runs, but odds are pretty slim.
Pitch there from Johnson again misses.
Oh.
It appears it's gotten tight out there. Kind of a read the room moment if you're the umpire, I feel like.
See, it was maybe he gets paid by the hour, trying to get a little extra in his paycheck.
This one should do it. It's going to be a ground ball to Holton. Gathers, throws quickly. In time. And that'll do it for things here at Phil Welch Stadium. A little bit of trouble there at the end of the game, but no runs come across. Final score 15-1. An absolute blowout. The Mustangs looked maybe the best they ever have tonight. or at least this year. We'll be back with you for a post-game show after this short break.
Welcome to the post-game show with Tyler Muto, Charlie Marshall. Charlie having some technical difficulties, but we just saw a Mustang blowout, and right before that we had Denton Biller, your player of the game, who went 4 innings and got the win. Charlie, what did we see out there tonight?
I mean, Tyler, it was a blowout win, to say the least. Hey, I'm supposed to be asking you questions here.
And you had an issue with your mic, buddy.
Yeah, no, it was a good game for the Mustangs, to say the least. A lot of errors, a lot of hits, and Biller pitched great. What did you see from Biller tonight?
I mean, was he shaky a little bit? Yes, the boxer doesn't really see that, but first inning got into a little bit of trouble, a couple guys on, but once the Mustangs pulled out to a 6-0 lead, it was all Denton Biller, and he looked really dominant in his 3rd and 4th innings. Probably could have gone more if he wanted to, but just trying to get some new arms out there from summer ball.
Yeah, Darius Freeman, another name that I want to talk about real quick. He stayed hot tonight. He really heated up yesterday. We talked about him last night. We're going to talk about him again tonight. Had multiple hits, including the 2-run double, which was just missed a grand slam by, the skin of our teeth. So it was it was a good game for him again tonight.
Yes, and the big thing that comes to mind is pitch selection. On that ball he hit out to the porch in right field was the fastball that he got in a hitter's count on the inside part of the plate and did not miss it. And just to make things fun out here, 2 bats later, you got the guy who's the hottest guy in the Mustangs lineup, lays down a bunt and could have strolled over to first base. So you got to love that from a guy like Darius Freeman.
Yeah, it's rare to see your hottest hitter dropping bunts, but we saw a lot of things out here tonight that we might quote was rare to see. But it was a fun one, to say the least. Mustangs win it 15-1. That's right, a huge blowout win for the Mustangs. Took just 7 innings thanks to the 10-run mercy rule. Tonight, the Mustangs take on the Chillicothe Mudcats out here. The second time they've played them at home. It'll be their 3rd straight home game, their 4th in just 5 days. Tyler, any final words on what we saw here tonight?
For the Mustangs, now it's key to not let a game like that, you kind of go coast, win early. You got a tough team in the Chillicothe Mudcats, so enjoy tonight, but it's time to lock back in tomorrow. You got a good matchup.
That is well said. That's all we have for you guys tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm Charlie Marshall alongside Tyler Bermundo. We will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. for the first pitch versus the Chillicothe Mudcats. Thank you, guys.